kind of a semi-review of Radionomy. Now, I've been using Radionomy now for 18 months. A little bit of background. I have an FM radio station in Oregon, in Lincoln City, and I thought I would expand into the streaming market, the online market. So I did a little digging around, seeing what was available, and I came across Radionomy. The reviews at that time were mixed, as people either loved it or hated it as far as the broadcast end of it's concerned. So I went ahead and dove in and went that route. So I thought I'd share a few of the things that I've learned along the way, maybe help you out if you're considering going that route as well. I mean, whether you're a radio station owner or just somebody who loves music and loves the idea of setting up a online radio station. Well, let's see. First thing, make sure you have enough songs. Uploading 40 songs, probably not going to do it. You want to make sure you have about 300 or 400 songs to start with. And try to keep it genre specific. Unless you're doing a mix type station, then obviously you can go all over the place. But with that many songs, people don't or tend not to get bored with what they're hearing because the radio player doesn't usually repeat songs over and over and over. The next thing is learning how to use Radionomy's music manager. That can be a little bit of a challenge, especially if you've never done anything like this before. I went out and watched a lot of their how-to videos, which quite frankly need to be updated. A lot of them are out of date, especially since they went ahead and did an upgrade, if you will, to their manager, and didn't produce any videos to talk about the new changes or the tools that were available. But here's just a few basic ideas. Let's say you're going in with 150 to 300 songs. You're going to upload them. You can upload them 25 songs at a time. Okay. When you see the uploads complete, you might see a little question mark next to the song title. Click on the edit. It's basically asking you for information. It might need to know the artist's name, what type of music it is, that sort of thing. It's pretty self-explanatory once you open it up. And once you populated that information, hit the save button, and it usually takes a few minutes for the songs to clear. Now sometimes, I've just out of curiosity, I didn't actually put in any information when it asked a little question mark, and then in about 20 minutes later, 10 to 20 minutes, their computer systems were able to identify the songs and populated it and allowed it to be added to the player. When you're setting your buffer times in the clocks, in other words, how often an artist plays or song plays, the minimum settings you should have is 60 minutes on the repeat to the artist and 60 minutes for the song. Of course, as you get more and more songs on your playlists, like my American Free Alternative Radio, which is actually now a mixed station, I've got 2,000 songs on there. So you can buffer it to where you have no song repeat during a 24-hour period. People tend to like that. So that's one idea. But you don't have to get to 2,000 songs, obviously. Once you have enough songs to be able to populate an entire clock, then you can set that up. Because you can adjust those repeat minutes, to whatever you like. So, some other things. Radionomy, when you're a new station, they tell you within the first 3 months, you need to average, I believe it's 12 listening hours per month. That's not too hard to hit. That's pretty basic. After that, then it jumps to, they give you another, I think it's 9 months to get to 130 listening hours on average in a month. Now, that can be a bit of a challenge. And if you don't hit that, they will just delete your station. But if you do hit it, then obviously they continue playing your station, and then they upgrade the status of your station, which gives you more exposure. So let's talk about exposure to getting listeners. I found that One thing that was really helpful was using our social feeds, like our Facebook page, Twitter page, that sort of thing. Um, you know, build a Twitter page that represents your radio station and talk about it, and tweet about it. And another thing I found that was helpful for us was on all 4 stations, like you see up here on the screen. I put out a call to musicians. If you're a new artist, and you looking for a way to get your music on the air, I was and still am willing to help. I don't charge them anything. And I'll tell you what, guys, once the word gets out, they'll come at you in a good way. I've had so many new artists send me MP3s, and I put them on my playlists, whichever genre they fit into. As you can see, I've got 4 stations here, and word of mouth advertising is awesome, as anybody can tell you. And then another thing you might want to consider doing if you're wanting to make money at this, is set up a web page, for the radio station, and link, especially if you're going to do multiple stations, link your Twitter feeds or whatever to that web page so people can go there and see, oh, look, this cat's got 15 stations. You can click on whatever you want to listen to. So that's one thing I learned was very helpful. Let's see. Oh, hey, developing an app for your radio station. Now, it doesn't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost you a penny. I use Nobex, N-O-B, or Nobex, whatever. I'll put a link in the description. And so, Nobex for your radio app. They have a couple of tiered programs. Starter is free, and then the next one up is like $14 a month. You gain a little bit more features, and the expert one is $100 a month. So I start out with the free. What the heck, And they have a really, really easy submission form that you fill out. Super easy. In 5 minutes, you're done. You submit it, and oh, by the way, I'm not getting paid by them, so I'm just telling you what I've learned along the way. So you submit it to them. Now, under the freebie, you get what you pay for it in some respect. It takes them, about 30 to 45 days to actually get the app published to, what am I on? Google Play, iTunes, and BlackBerry. And they're worldwide, so that really helped us pick up a ton of new listeners. And that respect is really cool. And even with the Nobex free app setup, you can still earn revenue. So they, you've probably seen this before, where you open up an app, and before the app gives you what you're looking for, they might have like a little pop-up ad. Now Nobex does the same thing, and you get money. You earn money for those pop-ups, and if people download whatever of those pop-ups, you earn even more money. So hey, that's pretty cool. Now, speak about making money with Radionomy. Well, not so much. So they do pay out when and if, and I hope you do, you hit an average of 50,000 listener hours per month from North America and or France. Now, Radionomy broadcasts worldwide, okay? So if you're clicking along and you're doing great, you'll find listeners from all over the world. Now, Radionomy has a pretty cool map feature under the Radio Manager. You can watch where people are coming from. This little bobblehead will pop up over, say, Peru or Germany or England, Canada, whatever, and it tells you where they're coming from, what stations they're listening to. That's kind of cool. But to get paid from Radionomy, like I said, your monthly average listener hours has to be 50,000 hours plus. That is hard to do. It took me forever to get to that point. And but like I said, I have an FM station, so I have a means of employment, so I wasn't sweating it too much. So a word of advice: if you're planning on quitting whatever job you've got and doing this full time, wait a while. Continue working and set up your stations, set up your apps, and give it time. That's another thing, guys. Be patient, okay? Once you've set your station up and it's going out on Radionomy, you can go to your manager and watch to see if listeners come in. They're not going to flood you right away. There are a bazillion radio stations online, as you know. So it might take a little while for them to find you. You might start out getting 1 or 2 listeners here and there, That's all right. It's just starting out. But then the longer it's out there and the more exposure you give it, like via the social feeds or the app development, you wake up one morning, log onto your computer, and you find you've got 600 listeners, and that is freaking cool. I've actually sat here for hours on end watching my listener count go up and down as these little bobbleheads appear and disappear in all these different countries. And do voiceovers. Become your own DJ. They allow you to do that on Radionomy. They can do these little breaks where you can go in and tell the people what your station is, tell them what your email is if they have requests, because you can do that. You can set up that. And let everybody know through these little breaks that you put in that you have an app that they can download and take with them wherever you go. That's a good way to advertise your app. Now, it used to be, now this is kind of a point of frustration for me, Radionomy used to allow you to stream or connect your stream to other, what I call domestic players for those of us living in North America. Like Radio Shaker is an example. I submitted all my streams to Radio Shaker, and everything was clocking along pretty good. I was getting a fair amount of listeners from Radio Shaker. Excuse me. But Radionomy got into some legal turmoil with, I think it was Sony. Sony was being greedy, in my opinion, about royalty rights. And it kind of set it to where Radionomy had to block those streams for North American listeners. Now, those streams still work worldwide everywhere else, but like I said, you're not getting any revenue credit if it's coming from Canada or Mexico or whatever, even though Canada is North America, they've narrowed it down to the U.S. But, yeah, that was kind of frustrating. So I would advise, don't waste your time submitting your streams to places that only play in the United States, because it's blocked. It doesn't look like it's blocked until you spend all the time setting it up, and you go to play it, and then you get some cryptid message from Radionomy saying that this station is available on their app, on their website, which means that the person who logged in to say Radio Shaker wanted to hear your music, and now they're hearing this, they get frustrated and just leave. Okay? So, and I don't blame them. Let's see. Obviously, you can tell by now that this isn't scripted. This is just kind of off the cuff. What else is there? Let's see. When you start making money and you got some extra cash, it is a good idea to bump up your levels in your app developers, whoever you choose. Like I said, I use Nobex, but you can use whoever you want. You tend to get more features that makes your app even more cool. So yeah, it's worth like the $14 a month once you're making money. So I don't know. I'm gonna end this video here in just a second. I'll put links to my stations if you guys want to check them out. That's cool. I'll put links to Nobex, links to Radionomy. If you guys have any other questions about it, though, like I said, I've been doing this a while, so I've hit a few roadblocks. When I woke up this morning, I thought, well, I'll just make a short little video about this, but I probably missed something that I'm going to realize once I turn this recorder off. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My email, the radio station's email, is radiofree@yahoo.com. Oh, that's another thing, guys. Set up a specific email for your radio station. Believe me, when you start getting flooded with all the new artists or song requests, you want to go in that direction. So anyways, thanks for listening. I hope I didn't bore you to tears. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. You guys comment down below. I answer everybody's comments. So thanks again. You guys have a wonderful day. This is Radio Man signing out. Bye.